Welcome everyone to our spring 2021 graduation program. We're excited to be with you today and thank you for participating with us. My name is Lori Carey and I am the CEO of Nebula Professional Development Academy and founder of We Connect the Dots. As I hand off our presentation to our graduates to share their experience and their accomplishments, I want each of you to know that this journey is not over. It's only beginning. Our team and organization are here to support you and to be a part of your success and your challenges as you build amazing careers and create sustainable lives for yourself and your families.
My name is Mitchner. I'm from Long Island, New York. I went to college for political science, and then I went on to obtain my esthetician's license. Well, I went to school for aesthetics, and I graduated in February of 2020. And as we all know, in March of 2020, COVID-19 happened, and it kind of put a roadblock in a lot of things, I'm sure, for a lot of people, myself included. And I couldn't take my state board test because obviously estheticians, it's very hands-on. You're giving facials, you're doing lashes, and all types of stuff like that. And then I was presented this opportunity by Miss Bonnie Cannon, a very close family friend. We actually go to church together, and she just over the course of the years became a very close family friend. So she called me up one day and was like, "Deasia, I have this opportunity," and I was like, "I'm gonna take it, because why not?" I had no previous experience at all in this field. And eventually I discovered that I have a passion for CSS, which is like more of the front end spectrum of application development. And it's just essentially making things pretty and adding your own personal flair to things, which I love. And that leads me to my favorite project in this class would happen to be the calculator project, which I'm sure we're seeing a theme here. A lot of us have a very special hold on the calculator project, I think, a lot of the class, because in my opinion, it gave us more freedom to express our artistic flair, and we could add our own personal touch to the calculator, and we kind of just had the freedom to do whatever we wanted, and as long as the functions were there and everything like that, then we were set. Now that project was definitely different than this, the capstone project, as we had to work more as a team. With the other projects that we've done, we collaborated with each other here and there, but it was more so about individuality. And I think in this project, we were more focused on helping each other, because we had to work as a team because we were doing a group project. So we were a little bit more dependent on each other. But I think that is one of my favorite things about this class, is that you kind of have the freedom to work as an individual and still add little bits and pieces of yourself and your artistic flair to the projects that we did. So the components that I worked on for the capstone project would be the navigation bar is the first one. So the navigation bar skeleton was actually mapped out by my classmate Chelsea, which she will discuss her contribution to the nav bar. But I did the CSS of the navigation bar, and like I said earlier, it's the CSS is just making things pretty and adding a little bit of oomph to it. So here you can see that I added a little bit of a gradient effect to the navigation bar. When you hover over a word, the background color changes to green, so you know that that's the page that your mouse is on and it's gonna click. I also contributed to the project by building the affiliates page. I did the global Jumbotron CSS, which any page on this application that has a Jumbotron was CSS'd by me. And then I also did the resources page. So for the affiliates page, I just added in some lorem ipsum, which is essentially just a placeholder. We call it dummy text, but it's just a placeholder, and I will get into the code of it, but I just imported that so that when we hand the application over to Coda, they can import any information that they would like. But the affiliates page is centered around companies that have worked with Coda, and on this page you will also find a link to the specific company. And then last but not least is the resources page. So for the resources page, it's just information regarding educational resources or employment services, if someone is looking for a job and things like that. I did input some screenshots of the code that I used in order to build this page, and this is what it looks like. So now we will get into the code. So here is the affiliates code. I just imported some photos here that I built on an app on my phone, which shout out to Chelsea, my classmate. It was her idea, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's such a good idea. I'm gonna do it too. So there's a little collaboration moment. So I imported the photos and I named them just affiliate 1 through 6, and all of the information is in a state and in an object with keys. So when Coda, when we hand over the application to Coda, they can import any information that they want, and it won't interfere with the CSS of the page because it's already in the object. So if they need to change the name, say, of the affiliate, they can do that and not have to worry about whether a word is too long and it's going to extend over the page or little things like that. And then for the resources, I did the same exact thing. Everything is in a state and in an object, and it can be interchangeable with whatever information needs to be put in. The lorem ipsum, as you see here, is just a placeholder, and it can be easily changed in and out. For the CSS, there's quite a bit of CSS, but that was my favorite part of the project. There's so much that you can do with the layout and the look of the page just by CSS, so that's really fun for me. And the same thing here with the resources page. So now I will show you guys what it actually looks like. So this is the affiliates page. This is the first page that I started working on when we got the project, and I just added in a little bit of a hover effect. So you hover over each partner card and it'll change the color. And then there's also a link to the affiliates website. This little white border around the website link has to be fixed. So that is something in the future that I will work on. That is just simply a CSS issue that could be changed in simply a matter of minutes. And here are the images that I edited with the app on my phone. And then at the bottom, we just have want to partner with us, become an affiliate, which ties into the pages that all of my classmates made. And you can use those as resources. The next page that I did was resources. So here on the left side, you see educational resources, and on the right, there are employment resources. I just used the lorem ipsum I did use a little hover effect that a lot of us have on our page. And thank you, Chelsea, for the CSS of that. I did change it up a little bit and just try to add my own little flair to it. But essentially, the look of it is the same. When you hover over it, the text changes just a little bit. And then you can hover over the company's website and you can click into the website and the user will be able to go to those resources that they need. And that is it on my part of the presentation. I will open the floor for any questions that anyone might have.
So congrats, Diaja, great job. I want to hear a little bit more about your creativity and how this program has sparked that. Can you share a little bit more on that?
Of course. So, I mean, from a young kid, I've always been more into the artsy part of things, and I've played instruments. I played the violin and pianos for about 10 or 11 years, and I've just always been into more like, even my notes in college and high school, they're color coded, everything is very organized. That's just my personality. But I think that being able to edit things or like CSS things in the way that you want could really tell a user a little bit about you without even knowing you. So I think that that's why I like it so much, because if I were to edit an application or code an application and CSS it in the way that I like, and I were to send it to a family member or a friend, you know, they would be able to see me through that. So I think that's why I have this hold on CSS, and I really did find a passion for CSS. I didn't come into this program knowing anything about it, but I'm glad that I learned a lot.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing.
Right.
I'm going to ask one more question before you hand it off. So where do you see yourself? What's changed for you now for your future? What's different?
A lot of things. So I obviously I still do see myself pursuing a career with aesthetics, but I also see this now on top of that. So I see myself combining the two, and I think that the artistic side of that really, the artistic side of software development could really tie into aesthetics and what I want to do in my future. I think that whether it be like coding my own website or helping my peers that I graduated with in that school with their websites and things like that, and just being that resource, I really see it tying together, and I'm really excited to have a future in the software development field.
Excellent. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Deasia, your willingness to put your teammates first and help others will never go unnoticed. Your future employer will be lucky to have you on their team. Great job, Deasia. Loved having you in my class, and congratulations.
Thank you. That was so nice. Thank you to the whole team and everyone. It was a pleasure. And I'll be in contact. So if I have any questions, I'm right in Microsoft Teams.